At first glance, New York and New Jersey seem like twin states, neighbors with a shared history, similar climates, and close economic ties. New York is packed with millions, while New Jersey's population is a fraction of that. Why the huge difference? How did these two neighboring states end up with such contrasting populations? Why is the Empire State in Manhattan and it wasn't built in Jersey City? Today, we're uncovering the geographic and historical reasons behind why so few Americans live in New Jersey compared to New York. But first, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more captivating geography stories every week. And as always, hit the like button if you enjoy learning with me. Now, let's get started. Long before skyscrapers and traffic jams, New Jersey and New York were thriving with Native American cultures. Before European settlers arrived, both regions were home to a variety of Native American tribes. The Iroquois Confederacy, made up of the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca, dominated upstate New York. Known for their sophisticated political system and military power, the Iroquois controlled vast trade networks and played a crucial role in the regional politics. Along the Hudson River and near modern-day New York City, Algonquian-speaking tribes like the Lenape, Montaukett, and Mohicans lived in smaller communities, engaging in farming, hunting, and fishing. The Lenape, sometimes referred to as the Delaware, occupied much of what is now New Jersey, southeastern New York, and parts of eastern Pennsylvania. The New York City area and Long Island was home to the Montaukett, and the Mohicans primarily controlled the upper Hudson Valley. These tribes had strong ties to the land and waterways, which shaped their way of life long before European contact. While these indigenous peoples thrived for thousands of years, the arrival of Europeans in the early 1600s would change the landscape forever. Both New Jersey and New York saw European exploration during the early 17th century. In 1609, Henry Hudson sailed up the river that now bears his name, laying the foundation for Dutch claims in the region. New York, originally known as New Netherland, quickly became a central point for trade, with the bustling settlement of New Amsterdam, present-day Manhattan, acting as a hub. Meanwhile, what is now New Jersey played second fiddle to New Amsterdam in terms of population and commerce. Its settlements were smaller and primarily focused on agriculture, with Dutch settlers buying land from the Indians and establishing farms and trading posts along the river. Lacking a central urban hub, the colony's economy remained largely rural, with modest trade and fewer inhabitants than neighboring areas. But it wasn't long before the English arrived, bringing with them new ambitions for the land and its people. In 1664, the English took over New Netherland, renaming it New York, and New Jersey was founded a British colony. While New York City flourished under English rule, New Jersey developed more slowly, primarily as an agricultural colony. This early imbalance in settlement patterns and economic focus helped set the stage for New York's future dominance. At first glance, New York and New Jersey look pretty similar. But geography plays a much bigger role than you'd think. Both states share the Appalachian or Appalachian Mountains, stretching from the northwest down to the Piedmont regions. However, New York's larger landmass and more varied topography set it apart. The state boasts everything, from the towering Adirondacks and Catskills to the fertile Hudson Valley and the Great Lakes along its western border. Meanwhile, New Jersey's geography is more subtle, with its most distinctive features being the Atlantic coastal plain and the Pinelands. New York's sheer size and geographical diversity have played a crucial role in its development. From the vast forest of the Adirondack to the financial powerhouse that is Manhattan, New York's natural resources have shaped its economic and population growth over time. One of the key reasons for New York's larger population is its role as a historical hub for immigration and trade. In the 19th and 20th centuries, New York City was the gateway to the United States for millions of immigrants, most of whom passed through Ellis Island, just a stone throw from New Jersey. Many immigrants, drawn by the promise of jobs in New York's booming industries, stayed in the city, contributing to its rapid population growth. But New Jersey? It didn't experience immigration on the scale of New York City, but it was still a destination for many immigrants, especially in cities like Newark, Jersey City, and Paterson, which became industrial hubs during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Today, much of New Jersey's population is concentrated in suburban areas that serve as bedroom communities for New York City. While New York was building the foundations of a global metropolis, New Jersey was developing a reputation as a quieter, more suburban state. Economically, the difference is also stark. New York's economy is one of the largest in the world, driven by industries like finance, media, and tourism. Wall Street, the New York Stock Exchange, and the headquarters of countless multinational companies call New York home. In contrast, New Jersey's economy, though strong, is more diversified, with a focus on sectors like pharmaceuticals, healthcare, and technology. Major companies like Johnson & Johnson and Merck are based in the state. But New Jersey doesn't really have an economic engine on the scale of Wall Street or Silicon Valley. And that's exactly the point. The availability of jobs in New York City has drawn people from across the country and the world to settle there. In contrast, New Jersey's suburbs, while desirable for their proximity to the city, haven't seen the same influx of residents. Even though New Jersey is America's most densely populated state, it still lags behind New York's total population. As of 2024, New York boasts a population of around 19.6 million, with New York City alone housing over 8 million people. New Jersey, by comparison, has a population of about 9.3 million, but it's much smaller in size. Most people in New Jersey have settled along the northeastern and central regions, particularly in counties like Hudson, Essex, and Bergen, due to their proximity to New York City. These areas have become highly dense as residents seek affordable housing options while maintaining access to the city's economic opportunities. Another key factor in the population discrepancy is infrastructure. New York's public transportation system, particularly in New York City, is one of the largest and most efficient in the world. The city's vast subway network, combined with extensive commuter rail lines, makes it easy for millions of people to live and work in densely populated urban areas. This is in stark contrast to New Jersey, where public transportation is less developed and car commuting is much more common. Sure, New Jersey has NJ Transit and PATH trains, but they don't compare to New York's massive subway system. For most people in New Jersey, driving is still the easiest way to get around. The state's layout, with more sprawling suburban areas and a car-centric infrastructure, means that commuting by car is often a necessity, contributing to longer commute times and less densely concentrated population centers compared to New York's urban structure. Together, geography, economy, and infrastructure have shaped the development of these two states, with New York City heavily influencing New Jersey's growth. As a global hub, New York has drawn people and businesses, leaving New Jersey to develop as a suburban extension. Many residents commute to the city, and the state's economy is closely tied to New York's financial and trade networks. This strong connection hasn't been without its tensions, though. One fascinating example of this complex relationship is the quirky border along the Hudson River. Despite being geographically part of New Jersey, Liberty Island and Ellis Island, two iconic symbols of American immigration, are considered part of New York. This oddity dates back to the original colonial land grants in the 17th century, and later disputes were settled by the U.S. Supreme Court in 1998. The court ruled that while the original 3.3-acre portion of Ellis Island, including the historic immigration buildings, belonged to New York, the 24 acres of land added through landfill fall under New Jersey's jurisdiction. So why do so few Americans live in New Jersey compared to New York? The answer lies in a combination of historical settlement patterns, economic opportunities, and infrastructure. While New Jersey offers suburban charm and proximity to New York City, New York's global status as a financial, cultural, and immigration hub has given it a population boost that New Jersey simply can't match. That said, New Jersey remains an attractive place to live, with its strong economy, high quality of life, and access to both urban and natural amenities. But when it comes to sheer population size and density, New York continues to reign supreme.